Hello, my name is Kimberly Meier, and I want to welcome you to a Bull City International Film Festival sneak preview. Today, we're speaking with Claire Downs and Brenden Gallagher, who co-wrote and co-directed the film Dollar Generals. How are you both today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. This is exciting. You're a husband and wife team, correct?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell me, how did you both get into filmmaking?
So we both started on the writing path. We actually both studied theater in college. And from there, I was part of the Upright Citizens Brigade, which is a comedy theater in New York City. And through there, I ended up doing TV writing. I worked on a pilot with Nickelodeon and then moved out to LA, where I've been doing a lot of various writing projects for both TV and film. And what about you?
Yeah, just to add to that, as Claire said, in college, I studied theater as well as film. I moved to New York City and did some indie production work. So people who've been PAs or locations assistants will know how grueling that is. And then I moved to Los Angeles and started to become an assistant in TV writers' rooms, writer's assistant, showrunner's assistant, writer's PA, those kind of jobs. And then I ended up staffing on Netflix's Warrior Nun, which is the show I'm on currently. And once we both started getting more work in writing, we wanted to get back to our roots and make something, and that's sort of how Dollar Generals came about.
Oh, that is wonderful. Is this your first film together?
It is. We actually met out here in LA about 7 years ago. This is our third year of marriage and our first project together. We met in a nightclub here in LA.
Yeah, we have written features together
yeah.
a fair amount, just because, pilot being 30 minutes or an hour and then leading to being in a writer's room, it's kind of easier to do on your own, but sometimes keeping the energy to do features, especially if it's work for hire out here, you kind of collaborate. And so it just felt natural for us to make something together.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, tell me about the inspiration for this story.
Yeah, so, we stumbled upon a few articles in a couple different publications about how dollar stores are now the most robbed stores in America, because it's really difficult to rob a bank, as many people know, some have found out the hard way. And, gas stations keep little cash on hand, and it's difficult to rob a Walmart. So Dollar Generals, as they sprouted out across the country, have become targets for theft. And we thought that was kind of an interesting setting we hadn't seen before. And in our travels across the country, we've taken some road trips. We see so many dollar stores across the country. We feel like it's a really relatable setting. And so we thought, okay, well, what if, we had this boyfriend and girlfriend duo who get jobs at dollar stores to skim money off of the robbers who are robbing their store so often.
Wow, that is so cool. The story was born after reading that. That is so, I hadn't heard that before, so really interesting. Were there any unexpected challenges that you faced while you were making this film?
I would say the biggest challenge was that the short is set in a dollar store. So anytime you're setting something, I'm sure if you direct like in a retail establishment, your choices are to either convince someone who works or owns the store to let you film there, or to get an empty store and fill it with stuff. Luckily, we found like the middle ground of this, which was we filmed at a movie ranch called Middleton Movie Ranch. Every single location that you see in the film is at the ranch, with the exception of there's like a McDonald's sign in the beginning. So we were able to use one ranch for like 4 locations: a gas station, the gas station, the dollar store, and the house, and then exteriors as well. So that was, and then we had our lovely production designer, Claire McDonald, filled it, and she did a great job doing that. But yeah, that was the biggest challenge, I think, was I think we must have visited and tried to convince like 100 dollar stores, not even just big chain ones, but they all had their problems anyway. So like for filming.
Wow, that's so interesting. Well, do you have any advice for aspiring screenwriters or filmmakers who may be hesitant to, or unsure where to start?
You know, it's a great question, and I think that the best answer is always to just do it, and whatever that looks like for you. But I think the converse of that is, you know, we both started doing sketch comedy or short form web series, like very low budget stuff, and I'm grateful for that experience. But we also, you know, needed to get jobs in other aspects of the business, you know, as assistants or what have you, to get the capital and the connections to make something that we were proud of. So I think it's a mix of find a way into the business that works for you, that you can get experience, but also, you know, it's okay if it takes some time to get the resources together to make that big film. I think in the 90s, every director would say, oh, max out your credit cards and go into debt or take out a second mortgage. And I don't think that's the way to do things. I think, you know, meet people, build connections in the industry, and when the time is right, you'll know when to make that dream project.
To that, I would add, you know, Brenden and I are a director team, and a lot of great directors are director teams. And I feel very fortunate that our team was able to divide and conquer responsibilities while we worked last year. So Brenden primarily handled pre-production. We did production together. And then I primarily handled post and the festival submission project. And you know, we each used our skills. Like, I have a great sense of graphic design and web design, and I had worked with editors a lot in the documentary world. So I really like working with editors. Brenden is a great people person, and he did a lot of the reach outs to crew, to locations, to really, he's a, you know, a charming person. So I was like, if anyone can get a dollar store, it's him.
Well, and, you know, and to add one more thing to that, you know, I worked in as a set PA, office PA, post PA, second AD, first AD, line producer. You know, I did so much of that stuff. And when I was doing it, I was like, God, I just want to direct and write, let me out of here, you know. But looking back on it, without those skills, you know, I wouldn't have been able to be as competent and confident when it came time to crew up and do our own work.
And on set too, we also both, like, we studied theater, so we both had acted. So we know just how sensitive it can be on set when you feel like everyone is watching you and maybe you're not sure if you're getting the scene right. So we really divided up actor responsibilities. Like, every time we would cut, we would talk to the actors, but one of us would be giving the correction note and one of us would be giving the good job note. So no one knew who was getting the note. That was our philosophy.
That's really smart. Yeah. That's really great advice from both of you. I think there are a lot of people out there who really will appreciate that. So Dollar Generals was just a really fun film, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to watch it and talk with you both about it. Do you have any other projects coming up that we can look forward to?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
I think
we do.
we're reticent. So we have another short that we're in preparation for right now. We have some pretty exciting attachments involved that maybe we can't talk about quite yet, but you know, we're really excited about it. And then we're always writing scripts, and, you know, we're always hesitant to talk about scripts because they become not real really quickly, but the short is going to happen. It's just a matter of making sure that the talent involved would be comfortable with us sharing it. But look out for it next year on the circuit, and we're really excited to dig into it.
Absolutely. Well, again, Dollar Generals was really fun. So it's been great talking with you both about this today and learning a little bit about you and your philosophy. And for our viewers, just a reminder that the 5th annual Bull City International Film Festival is right around the corner. It's being held virtually from March 4th through the 7th. So be sure to get your tickets and check out Dollar Generals. So thank you both, Claire and Brenden, for talking with us today.
Thank you.
Thank
We're
you, Kimberly.
honored to be a part of the festival.
Yeah, we really are thrilled and so excited. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.